Well, what up, nerds? Last week I've been driving the SRT for a few days because the white car broke again. I think it's the clutch. I'm going to document that when I do it. But anyway, been driving the black Neon, which is pretty nice still, and the front brake pads fell apart right before my wife left on a road trip. So I fixed them. I just did the pads. I just did a pad slap just to get it on the road. Well, today I'm driving it home from work and one of the rear pads starts grinding, and I was like, figured that was going to happen, so I might as well take a video of me doing the rear brake pads on an SRT4 because nobody documents that. So I got those long lug nuts on this thing, and well, I'm already not a big fan because they rust inside, so that's ugly. This one's sitting on there crooked. I think the wheel stud's actually in crooked, but it's seats, so whatever. Now to remove these rear calipers is two 10mm bolts. God, my dogs are going off over there. We got cows across the street, and that boy hates cows. He probably also doesn't like the neighbor, but that's Starchy's problem. The neighbor's alright. He's a good dude. So, top 10mm bolt, easy to get to. Bottom one, not so easy to get to. Yo, is this got an upgraded rear sway bar? Huh, I've never noticed that. I mean, I should have noticed it, but I never noticed it, so that's neat. So something I do to release brake pressure is I try and wedge this in here and pull, but it's not having much luck grabbing right now. Man, that thing is just right in the way. I gotta find a 10mm wrench. I took off the one bolt. It's a little bit smaller than a 10, so maybe it's a 3/8 or something, but if they haven't been hammered on there, a 10 works just fine. I don't know if these calipers have ever been off. Guess we'll find out together. Yeah, that outer. I'm not sure if this fell apart and died, or if it got eaten up because it stopped sliding. These still seem to slide okay. These seem to slide okay. That doesn't feel really hemmed up. I'll pull this apart. You get a little flathead or a little tiny pry bar. Oh, scratch the paint. Oh, I'll repaint them anyway, but I hate the red calipers. That's like one of the things I do not like about this. Piston's not falling apart. It doesn't. It really feels bound up in there. I'm gonna go grab I got a press for this. I'm gonna go grab it. Press these back in. Put the usually leave the rear pad in, and then you can either push it against here and just pull really hard, or you can put a pry bar in here and pull against that. But I actually have this little press that I always forget that I own, and these work all right if they're not out too far, but it looks like this one might be out a little too far, at least to get started. So I'm just gonna put it against there and brace myself and pull like my life depends on it. Yeah. That did not move very much. I'm worried that I got a stuck hose, or where the hose blows out inside. We'll get it started with this, or not. Golly, there it goes. Got it moving. It doesn't feel stuck. Otherwise, it would be extremely difficult to use. So on the front of this, the pad actually fell apart, just like disintegrated. because they had looked fine when I did the calipers and hoses, so hoping that that's what happened. These just aged out and glue came apart or something. So I'm going to cross my fingers for. We're using the Wherever Silver line, which is the cheapest pad you can get at AutoZone. Honestly, it's because I want to change these again already. But these already got eaten up by the pad, so I'm just going to let these ride for a day or for a couple months until I save up and get some Hawk pads or something, and then I'll slap those on. And get new rotors, because solid rotors work better, at least in my experience, over these slotted. These slotted seem pretty good, but I've always just had good luck with just a good quality solid faced rotor and regular pads. Now something you want to watch out for is in here and in here. You see there's little tiny divots. And they feel smooth enough that you can still get past, but sometimes these little ears on here and then the pads themselves will wear into the caliper bracket and kind of wear it away a little. So what I tend to do is if it's too bad, I'll take a little grinder or a file to it, but these are smooth on both sides, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm going to smear a little grease along here just to help it slide. I'm using I've had this stuff forever. Stay Lube Extreme Pressure Moly Graph. It's a graphite grease. It's, you know, black high temp graphite. Just put a little, I should go get gloves, but because, you know, graphite and all this brake stuff isn't really good for your body, but just be careful with it and it'll be fine. This is just to help the pads along the way. Damn dog. I don't know if he can even see what he's barking at. Dogs actually have pretty poor far-sighted vision, so to help this along, I always just a little smear this stuff on here. Like I said, just to help it slide a little bit. And I mean, who knows if this is even going to stay until the next time I do these things, but this is at least going to make me feel better. Man, that's really difficult. I wonder if I can use this to push it on. Nope. Well, maybe. It's lined up. Let's see if I can press it on using that. It's not how you should do this, but it's how I'm doing it. What's in there? It don't feel too good. Well, I guess it's fine. That's really annoying. Yeah, scratch that paint all to hell. That's cool. God dang it. But these just slide on in there. Alright, those are done. These pins are sliding pretty freely, so should I check them? Well, this one already came out. Oh, it's got white grease in there, so I don't want to mix and match. I'm going to call that good. It's got white lithium grease in there. I twisted that up. Oh man, what a day. Won't that line up? Let's go where it needs to go. It's good for your home. There it goes. I don't even get it. Sometimes they are just fine, and sometimes they just fight you for no reason and then decide to plop into place anyway. Tighten that one up pretty good, and then there's that. Alright, so real quick, I'm going to let you in on a funny little secret about the rear brakes on this car. So let's kind of observe, right, the shape of the caliper bracket, the shape of the pad, and this is I believe I can't remember, a 10-inch rotor, possibly. I'm sitting on the ground now, but this is my NYG. You can kind of see the shape of the bracket and the shape of the pad, and the fact that it's, you know, basically a 10-inch rotor. So the secret is that SRT4 rear brakes are the same size as first gen RT rear brakes, or first gen RT ACR Sport ABS cars. If you had rear disc brakes on a first gen, they are the same size and the same pad as a second gen RT and an SRT4. My gray Neon I put together, I wanted to use second gen RT rear calipers, but they were frozen up. But I had a set of first gen calipers, so I used first gen hoses, first gen calipers, second gen hardware, and it all just went together. It's exactly the same. The only thing that is different is the thread pitch on the bolt. The what is that bolt called? So they're physically the same size. They have the same piston diameter. The only thing that's different is the thread pitch on it. They actually share the same spacing and kind of the similar size as the rear calipers on a late model turbo Dodge as well. So if you have a late model turbo Dodge, you can use first gen calipers and they bolt on because the brake hose is the same thread pitch. And if you want to use a second gen or SRT4 brakes like my wagon has, you just got to get second gen hoses. So that's the secret. It's a little secret that nobody acknowledges or thinks about unless you have a bunch of crap that you want to interchange like I do. But basically it's the same process on the other side, so I'm not going to bore you with that. So thanks for watching. This is a short video, but you know, like the video, subscribe. I want to do this full time, so follow me on social media. Maybe we can make something happen.